Well, inflation, of course, it's the measure of just how fast prices are rising around the economy. Very important because, aside from anything else, that's what the Bank of England needs to try and keep to around 2%. And the faster the economy is growing, often that pushes prices higher, and that will cause some consternation at the Bank of England. And for the second month running, inflation has risen higher than expected. Let me just show you what we're talking about here. This line here shows you inflation. So again, just the rise or indeed the change in prices over the previous year. You can see it was very low in 2015, kind of round about zero. But then inflation has risen relatively sharply. And just recently, you can see it going down very sharply when it came to the pandemic. Obviously, that reflects the fact that people are spending less in the shops, and then rising very quickly over the last few months, up to above 2% last time around. That was in May. But now have a look at what happened this time around, up to 2.5% in June. That was higher than economists had expected and puts it quite comfortably above the Bank of England's 2% target. In terms of what's pushing it up, well, have a look at this. This breaks down different parts of inflation, and obviously there's a lot there, but let me just kind of show you a few of the highlights. Transport costs, and that includes petrol prices up quite sharply. Restaurants and hotels, so people starting to go out again, spending more. Perhaps you've noticed that yourselves. That's also gone up quite a lot as well, as have food and drinks as well. So you're putting up, you're seeing those prices kind of going up really across most categories. And as a result of that, that's pushing up prices. The big question now is what the Bank of England thinks about that. Of course, you're seeing high prices around the world. Do they look at it and say, well, we need to think about what we're doing with interest rates? Or do they say, look, for the time being, we think this is going to pass and we can leave interest rates at that very low level where they are?